Today we're going to be building the most powerful gaming PC for 550 bucks.
Performance is solid.
Yo, what's up guys, Into here for Greater, and we're back at it again with the budget build. 550 bucks is the budget we're working with here today, and our build's gonna have a white color theme. It's gonna look sick, so let's jump into it. First, we're gonna go over all the parts and their prices, why we picked them, and then second, we're gonna jump into the build guide where I guide you how to build the PC all the way from start to finish. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner and you've never built a PC, don't worry, I got you. You'll know how to build your system by the end of this video. And then third, the fun part is when we put our build to the test. We're gonna test a lot of titles on our build, from AAA to the popular esports titles, so you guys can see how well this build it's gonna perform. You will not be disappointed with this system's performance. I can guarantee you that. And also, if your budget is a little higher or lower, we've done plenty of build guides here on the channel. So be sure to check out our channel for our past build guides, see if one suits you more than this one here today. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump into it, guys. So the graphics card we chose, the RX 6600. This is a great card for the money for 1080p gaming. We've done builds with the 6600 in the past, but it still pumps out the most FPS for the price. But here's the card. All black 2-fan card. The video ports that it's rocking is 3 display ports and 1 HDMI. And yeah, it has a nice backplate. This is a very solid card for the money. Great 1080p performance when we pair it with our Ryzen 5 5500. This has a stock heatsink inside, so no need to worry about that. We're covered. This combo right here, guys, will handle a bunch of titles at 1080p at those high frames. Definitely gonna be an enjoyable gameplay experience, and you will find out exactly how well this performs at the end of the video when we put our system to the test. But the motherboard we're using is a Micro-ATX form factor board rocking the B450 chipset. Let's open it up. It says it's AMD 5000 series ready. No BIOS updates needed. That just means the CPU will work right when you pop it in, right out of the box. And here is the board. And here are the board's ports. We have a lot of USB 3 ports right there. Here is the front of the board. And there is our motherboard. The IO shield out of the box. We're gonna need that later. And this little screw bag to install our M.2 SSD later on as well. So for the power, we're gonna be using a 650 bronze rated power supply by ARESGAME. All the cables are connected to this power supply. And with this amount of wattage, 650 watts, you will be able to do a graphics card upgrade in the future. Not a crazy one, but you will be able to upgrade a bit. We definitely have some extra wattage left over. Now for the RAM, we've used this kit plenty of times because it's all you need. This is a 2x8 gigabytes for a total of 16 gigs at 3200 megahertz DDR4. This CORSAIR Vengeance RAM always runs great. If you want some more, feel free to double it, but 16 is enough for gaming. For our SSD, we have ourselves a KingSpec 512 gigabyte M.2 SSD. Feel free to up this too as well, like for example to a 1 terabyte of storage. We just picked 500 just to fit within our budget. Our final component, the case that's gonna house all our parts. This is a dope looking case. Today we have it in white, and I really like this PRODIGY case, but let me show you what I'm talking about. Boom. Here it is in the white colorway. It comes included with 3 fans already. Let me take the covers off to show you. It has a nice tempered glass side panel. In the front, it has 2 pre-installed RGB LED fans, and in the back, it has 1 RGB LED fan. Looks good. And this case has plenty of airflow. All this right here is open. Good looks. Fans already installed. It's a good case for the money. And that concludes all our essential parts. Total price, boom, right here up on the screen. Now we're gonna go over our second parts list. This is only for aesthetics. These parts are not required. So first, kicking it off with our custom sleeve power supply cables. This is our brand Crater in the white colorway. Let me get this open. So these cables are gonna be on display in the front of our build. So it's gonna look a lot better than the stock cables that come with your power supply. You'll see that later. We're gonna be using our Crater RGB LED Strip kit. Comes with 2 flexible strips and strong magnetic attachments. That's gonna provide a lot more light into our build, which is always a must. But all right, guys, that concludes all our parts. Now let's jump into the build guide. First, we're gonna be installing our CPU inside of our motherboard. So let's get this guy open. And here we have our CPU. Now, if we take a close look at our Ryzen 5 5500, we're gonna find a golden arrow on the bottom left-hand side of it. There it is right there. And if we take a look at our CPU socket, there's an arrow on the top left side. First, what we're gonna do is get this lever, pull it to the side and all the way up. And we're going to line up the arrow of our CPU with the arrow on the CPU socket. We're gonna hover it right over and let the CPU drop right into the socket just like that. You don't wanna apply any pressure and push this in the socket because you're gonna end up bending the CPU pins, and you definitely don't want to do that. Just hover it right over, let it drop into place. Now we'll return this lever back to its original position, tuck it in right there. Now we're going to unscrew these 4 screws to remove these 2 attachments. Now we can get our heatsink out. And if we take a close look at our heatsink, you can see behind it, there is the pre-applied thermal paste, so no need to apply any more thermal paste. We're gonna be lining up the 4 points of our heatsink with the 4 points on the motherboard. So now we're gonna get the heatsink, and I have the AMD text on the left-hand side, and we're going to, now I just like to look under here as I'm lowering it so I can get it to land on the 4 points, and there we go. Now we screw it in. I like to screw in one side a bit just to get it to attach. That has attached, and then I move on to the opposite side. And I do this to maintain even pressure as we're securing our heatsink. Also, if you screw in one side too much and then go to screw in the other one, then the other one's gonna be a lot more challenging to screw in. You're gonna have to apply a lot more pressure because one side's gonna be lifted up. Now we do the same for the other two. Screw this in a bit and the one across. And there, once all sides are attached, now I can just finish them all off. And I'm just gonna keep turning till the screwdriver stops. It has a safety on it. You can't over tighten this. There. Screwdriver has stopped. That is tightened enough. That one is done. Keep screwing till it stops. Done. And the last one. Keep screwing till it stops. All right, last thing we want to do is connect the CPU heatsink fan to the CPU fan header on the motherboard, which is labeled CPU fan and it's gray. This one right here. So I'm just gonna plug it right into there and it should look like that, guys. CPU installed. Now we're gonna install our RAM. We're gonna be installing our RAM sticks into our second RAM slot and our fourth RAM slot. We do this so the RAM could run in dual channel. Now all we need to do is line up the indent on our RAM stick with the part on the RAM slot that's not indented right there. So the RAM only goes in one way. So the Vengeance text is gonna be on the left side. So I'm gonna put it into our second RAM slot, get it in, and then push down with both thumbs all the way till it goes all the way in on both sides, and then this lever will clip back up. Now I'm gonna give you guys a different angle for the second stick. We're gonna insert our second stick into the fourth slot, get it to sit in there. Now push down with both thumbs, equal force, goes in all the way. This lever will clip back up. Boom, RAM installed, easy. Next is the installation of our M.2 SSD. Came with a little screw, although the motherboard also comes with it. Our M.2 SSD is going to go into right here. Now notice how it leads up to right here. Second point is where we're gonna need to install M.2 standoff. So this came with our motherboard. And we're going to get this piece right here and screw it into our second point. Now we're ready to insert our M.2 SSD. And we're gonna get the small 0 screwdriver. This is what we're gonna use to secure our M.2. Lay it down onto the standoff and secure it. All right, perfect. Now we're ready to install the motherboard inside our case. But first we need to remove the back panel. And back here is where we're gonna find the instructions, which we don't need, but we do need this right here. Get rid of these metal ties. We don't want those in our build. And if they come in contact with parts of your PC, they could short it. That's why you always wanna get rid of these metal ties. Here we have our screws. I'm gonna set this to the side for now. So first thing that we wanna do is install our IO shield that came with the motherboard. We're gonna put it inside of our case and then clip it on the back. And you wanna make sure that the 3 circles right here are facing down, and we're gonna clip in all 4 sides. Just like that. Next, we want to make sure that all the points on our motherboard line up with the motherboard standoffs inside of our case. So by looking inside our case, we need to add 2 more motherboard standoffs. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Then we can secure our motherboard. So as you can see inside our case, we have a standoff here, 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 and here. We need to add 2 more here and here. So we're gonna open up this bag that came with the case and you will find the standoffs in here. Our standoffs look like this, and we're gonna be screwing it in with a 5mm nut driver. I'll link this tool in the description if you don't have it. So first standoff and the second one. So now we have all our standoffs circled red. We're now ready to put our motherboard in. We're going to line up all the ports of the motherboard with the IO shield. Make sure the cables of this fan are not under the motherboard, okay? So lift them up. There you go. They're on top of the motherboard now. And I'm gonna line up all the motherboard ports with the IO shield. All right, that's good to go. Now I let the motherboard lay on the standoffs. Now we're ready to screw in our motherboard. We're gonna be using these screws right here. Came with the case. So first I'm gonna get the one in the middle right here lined up. There we go. And let's secure this one first. Good. Now that'll hold the motherboard in place. We're gonna go ahead and do the remaining 7. And there we have all 8 standoffs secured, and they're all circled red. Easy, guys. Now let's go ahead and put in our power supply. Before we install our power supply, I'm gonna connect our Creator custom sleeve power supply cables. The first one I'm gonna be hooking up is our big 24-pin power cable from the power supply. Instead of hooking this up to the motherboard, we're now going to hook it up to our extension cable, and then the extension cable is now gonna hook up to the motherboard. So if we look at the front of our build, instead of the stock cable being on display, we're gonna have our custom sleeve white cable on this plate. It's gonna look way better. So now the second cable we're gonna hook up is one graphics card power cable. We're gonna wanna find it on our power supply. It's going to be the cable from our power supply that's labeled PCI Express. So we're only gonna connect one of these 8 pins to the extension cable. Now look how it splits into 6 plus 2 for a total of 8 pins. I'm gonna slide it back on. That's how you know it's a graphics card power cable. So when looking through all the cables in the kit, you wanna make sure you get an 8-pin cable that is also split like that. 6 plus 2 for a total of 8. Now you know that this is the right cable to power a graphics card. We're gonna hook it up to our extension. And now this is going to hook up to our RX 6600 graphics card later to power it. All right, those are the only cables we're gonna be using. Now let's get to the back of our case and we're gonna slide our power supply into here. You wanna make sure that the fan of the power supply is facing down. Line it up in the back, and then we're gonna secure it with 4 screws. They come with the power supply, and these screws also come with the case. So there's 1. Cool, power supply's in. We're almost done, guys. Now moving on to the connection of all our cables. Now we have a lot of cables here, but no biggie, really simple. We break down all our cables into 3 groups. First group of cables is all the power supply cables, which power things. Second group of cables is all the case cables. What these cables do is connect the power button, the USB ports, the mic and headphone jack to the motherboard. And then our third and final group of cables is all our fans and lighting. Okay, starting it off with the first group of cables, our power cables. So starting it off with our big 24-pin power cable, we're gonna guide it through here. We're going to see a clip on one of the sides of it. That clip needs to clip back here. So we're going to line it up straight and push it in all the way and make sure that it clips back here, which it did. That one's good to go and it's looking good. Next, we're gonna hook up our CPU power cable. That's gonna be up here, guys, top left of our board. So now we're gonna wire our CPU power cable from the power supply. Right there, it's labeled CPU. And the CPU cable is also going to clip onto the left side. So we're gonna line it up straight, just like that, and push it in all the way. So the clips right here on the left and should look just like that. That concludes all our power cables. The last power cable is to power our RX 6600 graphics card, but that's later on. Now moving on to our second group of cables, the case cables. Go to the very bottom of our motherboard. First cable we're gonna plug in is our HD audio cable. It's gonna go in right here. This cable only goes in one way. So with the HD audio text facing up, goes in just like that. Next cable is our USB 2 cable. Also only goes in one way. It's gonna plug in right here. So with the USB text facing down. This can also plug into this one. They're the same thing. They're both USB 2 inputs. Next case cable is our USB 3 cable. This is going to plug in right here. Notice how on the bottom of this plug, there's room for this hump on our USB 3 cable. So you want the hump facing down, and then we're gonna line it up straight and then push it in all the way. Looking good. And our final case cables are all our little JFP1 cables. These plug in right here into these pins. I'll throw a JFP1 chart on the screen to help us out. First JFP1 cables we're gonna be hooking up is our RGB LED. If we turn it around, there's gonna be an arrow. The arrow indicates the positive side. So we're gonna plug this cable to the first and second pin of the bottom row, with the positive being on the left. So positive's on the first bottom row pin and the negative is on the second pin. Power LED, positive and negative, right on top with the positive on the left side. This plugged into the first row of pins, first and second pin. Next cable is our reset switch. This is going to hook up to the bottom row of pins, third and fourth pins. Positive and negative doesn't matter for this one. There we go, should look like that. That went into the bottom row, third and fourth pins. Now the final JFP1 cable is our power switch. Again, positive and negative doesn't matter for this one. This is gonna plug in right on top of our reset switch. First row of pins, third and fourth pins. And it should look just like that. And now the final group of cables are fans and our lighting. Let's turn our case back around and we're gonna wanna find our SATA power cable, which looks like this. Now to connect the 3 fans of the case, all we need to do is locate our fan controller, which already has all 3 fans of the case hooked up to it. And we are now going to hook up the SATA cable to the fan controller and boom. That's now going to give power to all 3 of our fans and for the lighting as well. Now when you want to change the color of the 3 fans, we're going to press this RGB button up here to cycle through the colors of the fans. Let's go ahead and get rid of every single cable tie. Because remember, these have metal and if they touch a component, they could short it. So just for safety, let's get rid of all the metal ties. Any little metal tie you see, just get rid of it. And that is all the metal ties. The fan controller also had a 3-pin RGB connector. This would have connected to the motherboard, but the motherboard we chose those supports 4-pin RGB, not 3-pin. That's why we're gonna change the colors of the 3 fans with the RGB button on the case instead. But for our Crater RGB LED strips, these we will be connecting to the motherboard. So to change the colors and the lighting effects of our strips, we're gonna be doing it on the desktop of our system with the lighting program. Now I'm gonna install RGB LED strip kit because our fans are now ready to go. They're connected. So just to show you, our RGB LED strips going to connect to the motherboard with this 4-pin cable, which is going to hook up here into our 4-pin RGB header of our motherboard. So I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse the installation of our RGB LED strips, but I will link in the video description a more in-depth guide on how to install RGB LED strips into your builds. All right, our RGB LED strips are installed. Now, finally, it's time to install our graphics card, our RX 6600. Let's go ahead and get all the protective film off of it first. All right, guys, so now we're gonna make room for our card by removing the second bracket by pushing it. It just came off with no effort at all. And then we're gonna remove the third bracket. Also just came off like nothing. We're going to install our RX 6600 into our PCI slot right here. Make sure we pull the lever back. And now back here, we're gonna undo this to open it up and make room for our RX 6600. And now time to put it in, line it up with the PCI slot. Once we have it into place, push it in all the way. There we go, it's in. And that lever will lift back up. Now we need to secure it with 2 screws. All right, tighten this back up. Okay, that's good. Now the final step is to give our card some power. So we're gonna hook up our 8-pin cable to our RX 6600. Looks great. And we're done, guys. Now I'm gonna cable manage the back, put both panels in, and then first boot up time. All right, guys, here's the peel. And let's get these lights off. All right, here we go, first boot up. Boom, and it's alive. Oh, and it looks sick. Look at the front, plenty of airflow. The fans look sick. So by pressing the RGB button, you can change the colors. This one just leaves it on red, and that looks super sick. Let's press it again. Blue looks awesome. And our RGB strips are on. So as you can see, plenty of light inside our build. Nice tempered glass panel. This build has plenty of airflow. For $550, check it out. You guys be the judge. I think for $550, it looks really, really, really good. All right, guys, now the fun part. We're gonna put this build to the test against all current popular titles. But before that, you need to install an operating system. I made a video on how to install Windows 11 from a USB flash drive for free. That video is linked in the video description. And then a video on what to do after you're done building your PC, like installing all the drivers. A video on that is also linked in the video description. All right, guys, now time for the fun part. Let's put this guy to the test. Time to frag it up. Let's do it. Settings for Call of Duty Warzone 2, 1080p resolution. Here are our quality settings. And for the view, max 120. And this stuff is of course off. Let's do it. Oh, we downed one. There's someone right there. Performance is solid. Whoa! Wow. He's gonna get us right now. That's what you get. Oh my god, dude. Uh-oh. I'm dead. Oh my god, I don't know why am I stuck. We broke, but we wealthy in ability. It's getting crazy. Go to the top, zip up to the top, and then jump off. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. No! Alright, that was a good game though. We did good, but we unfortunately threw it at the end. Performance was good. Next game. Settings for Fortnite, 1080p res. We have the game on performance mode, and here are the rest of the settings. Let's do it. Jumping into Fortnite. First kill. Oh! Fortnite performance, pretty solid. We're up there on those frames. We're good on guns, we're stacked. Cool jump time. Whoa, we got a lot of air. This guy's out of his mind fighting. No way, bro! Oh! Next game. Settings for Apex Legends, 1080p resolution. Here are the rest of the settings. Let's do it. All right, here we go. GPU utilization, really good. Team Deathmatch, let's get the win. Ah, behind us. You're a little warrior. No way, this gun has no ammo in it, man. Oh, we're losing? Okay, we're not bringing this one home, man. GPU utilization was to the max, though. We're getting all the power out of our card for Apex. No! We lost that one. Performance was good. GPU utilization stayed high for Apex. Next game. Settings for Valorant. 1080p res. Here's the graphics quality. Let's go. Not a hard game to run. In the 300s right now. More than enough. What? What? Here's what? Oh! No scope coming up right now, guys. I called it. Oh! I called it. I told you. Right in the face, boy. Huh? Let's go, boy! Woo! Got him. We got him, guys. What? No way. Bro. Bro! Bro! Oh.
One kill remaining.
Bunch.
10 seconds left.
All right, next game. Settings for Counter-Strike 2. 1080p resolution. Here are the video settings. Let's do it. Get a nice quick dub.
Where are you, bro?
You can have it. You can have it. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, bro.
Oh crap! Both sides. They forfeited. Alright, I'll take that. CSGO performance was amazing. Next game. Settings for Rainbow Six Siege. 1080p resolution, max FOV. Here are the graphic settings. Let's do it. We just hopped in a ranked match. Am lagging this match. What? Yup. Whoa! Nice! I do not have the Sledge Master Chief skin, but the ending animation is dope. Alright, we won. Performance is great. Next game. Settings for Rust, 1080p resolution. Graphic settings, here they are. Let's do it. Performance is looking good. 90 FPS right now. Why you steal my kill? Okay, a lot of targets here for us. Come on, we can't fail. No, bro, getting sandwiched. All right, ready to duel? 3, 2, 1, duel. Bro, he's one shot, bro. And of course it gets stolen, bro. All right, new challenger approach. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Bruh.
On a lot of the PCs we test out Rust, we're always pretty much getting 90 FPS. That's how it tends to go, unless you have like a really good CPU. How are you still alive, bro? Hold on, man, I gotta heal up so it can be an even fight, you punk. Behind you. Behind you, man.
Bam. Bop. Pow.
Alright, next game. Settings for PUBG, 1080p res. Here are the video settings, max FOV. Let's go. Okay, so PUBG, first to 50 kills wins, best out of 3 rounds. Alright, performance is good. I'm liking it. Nice and smooth. Unlucky for that guy. Oh, 4. Oh, hit fire, boy. Ooh. Sniper time, guys. Just throw that nade. Wait, bro. Yeah, victory. What's up? That's right. Only got 7 kills. Next game. Settings for Helldivers 2. 1080p resolution. Render scale is set at ultra quality. Here are the graphics settings. This is my first time playing Helldivers 2, but it's a really popular game, so I thought we'd add it to the list. All right, here we go. Actually got hit. What is it gonna give me? Nice, we got the big gun now. Oh, son. All right, let's go. What's going on here? All right, I believe this is already a mission. We just have to defend this. And pretty sure that's it. So let's defend it. There come the bugs. Boom! Get some! Oh, crap! You get ragdolled in this game. Let's go. Let's go. Why are you guys hiding here? Precision strike. Oh my goodness, I almost killed myself. Oh, I did kill myself. My last breath. Victorious. We got an achievement. Job's done. Completed mission, but failed to extract. All right, that was Helldivers. Next one. Settings for Cyberpunk 2077. 1080p resolution. The graphic settings is set to the medium preset, except FOV has been set to 100. Everything else is the medium preset. Let's do it.
They spotted us. Someone
Bro, you guys have a lot of health, man.
medic.
What the heck? He's still alive? Bro. Whoa! These guys are more powerful, huh? I like the shotgun. Seems to be the best gun so far. That's the strong one. Why is he still alive? Oh my goodness, that guy has a lot of health. We gotta run. Good thing he doesn't rush us. He just stays back there. What's up? Any last words, boy? Huh? Huh? Alright, now we can get out of here. Cyberpunk ran good. And that is a wrap. This $550 PC down there performed amazing. I'll catch you guys in the next build guide right around the corner. Peace.